Taste and see how good the Lord is. The one who takes refuge in him is truly happy. So often we associate these words, taste and see, with communion. And maybe you've heard the hymn, taste and see, the goodness of the Lord. It's a beautiful hymn, and certainly helps us to think about communion, that in the tasting of the bread and the cup, we begin to see God's grace more clearly. But in the Psalms, we're not there yet. We don't have the Last Supper yet. We don't have the institution of the Lord's Supper. Certainly they would have experienced what's called Passover, which was the meal that was shared that we now call the Last Supper, from which communion comes. But I don't even think they're talking about that here. Instead, I think the psalmist is creatively writing poetry in which they use those words, taste and see, as a way of reminding us that God's presence, God's goodness, God's love, God's greatness is just as close as something we can sense, like the taste and touch of food and things. God is palpable, in other words. Sometimes we think about God as being out there, off somewhere else, and maybe watching over from time to time, or maybe interacting here and there. God is with us as close as the air we breathe. So taste and see that the Lord is good. Taste and see. My prayer for you is that today you would recognize that God is as close to you as anything else. And that in a poetic way, you might taste and see that the Lord is good. Amen.